Hi, I'm Belinda Carley, the Director of the Institute of Personal Care Science, and today I'm going to show you how to make an ultra mild face cleansing bar. Now I know you've been waiting for this one, and I'm using materials that you can source from small suppliers. So let me show you how it's made. Now this is the product we're going to be making today. Now I am going to show you in another video how to make a shampoo bar, but I'm starting with this mild cleansing bar for the face because there is a difference between the two, and if I show you, you can see this one works much like a soap, but the finished pH of this product when diluted in water is only 6.5. So you can see it makes a nice mild cleansing effect. It's not over foamy, it's very gentle for sensitive skin, and of course that bar makes it very travel friendly. You can see it makes a nice milky cleansing foam and then washes off easily. Now the finished pH of this product when diluted with water is 6.5, much better than your naturally saponified products which have a pH up around 9.5 to 10. They're quite harsh on the skin. So this product is very, very mild for the skin. It also has a really high lipid content, and that helps give that creamy foam, but also the mildness, and you can also build in product story. So in this bowl here, I have my sodium cocolysethanate, I have my glycerin, I have a glycerin-based extract, and I have my plant oils. Now this is the longest part. I need to heat and melt this. I need to heat it gently around 55 degrees. I want to keep it around the 55 degrees. The sodium cocolysethanate does take a while to melt and mix in, so I also want to limit how much air I introduced during this process. It just takes a little time. It's a step you need to just allow the time for, and that also helps give you that beautiful creamy mild foam in the finished product. Now you do need this phase to be almost melted and mixed thoroughly before you add the next phase. So now we can turn the heat up and we can add our non-ionic emulsifier here. This is very high HLB, but this helps improve the mildness of the product. And I've also got a super fatting agent. Now because the non-ionic material is going to melt and mix so much faster than sodium cocolysethanate, that's why we have to make sure that that is melted and mixed in before we add the next phase. Otherwise we can end up with far too much foam, and of course foaming, if you try and put that into a block, it simply won't set into a block, it's too aerated. And because the non-ionic emulsifier melts so much faster, we'd find that we'd have to keep the temperature up high for that higher melting point wax for too long, and that's going to affect our end product. As you can see, the foam is already starting to happen quite a lot, so we want to make sure we minimize that air. In a small lab batch, it's a little harder to do. When you're making more of this product, it's a bit easier to control. And again, we want to minimize the air during the mixing. Otherwise, when we pour it off into a block, we won't get a block. We'll get a crumbly, foamy half block. We really want this to set into this beautiful, solid consistency that we have here. Now once you've got that all melted and combined, you can reduce the heat a little, and you can add your essential oil and antioxidant. Mix that through. You do need to keep it fairly hot because it will set at quite a high temperature. And you want this, again, you want this because you want it to be a bar that stays a bar in a warm shower environment, or when using warm water when washing the face. And of course, once that's finished, keep it molten, and then you would pour off into your molds. By the next day, it will set into this bar formation. Now, when I'm asked to create a mild bar product, one of the first surfactants I think of is sodium cocoyl isethionate. It gives you a really dense, creamy foam. It's incredibly mild. It's a great cleanser. But as you could see, it takes a little bit of time to melt and mix into the formula. Sometimes when people first use this material, they heat it far too hot, they expect it to melt fast like an emulsifying wax, and it simply doesn't perform that way. So you do need to take it a little slow, keep your temperature around 55 degrees and just mix and be patient. It will eventually melt and mix into the rest of the formula, but you do need to give it a little time, which is why I separated those two phases so that I could make sure my sodium cocoyl isethionate was almost fully mixed in before I added the extra materials, because as you could see, they didn't take long at all. Now, the high lipid input in this formula and the glycerin makes it super mild for even sensitive skin types. As I said, when diluted with water, it has a pH of around 6.5, so it's also very skin compatible. I made this video because I was asked for it, so remember to keep sending your ideas and suggestions through. Please give it a thumbs up, leave any questions or comments below, and make sure you subscribe to receive notifications about all our videos. Happy formulating!